And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first 2024 AWC announcement for next year's conference. I'm Shannon. I write under the pen name of SE Huston, and I have a channel under the name of SE Huston. I also write YA fantasy and fantasy romance with a few books out on those. And part of the AWC team here with Authortube Writing Conference. And I'm also 1/3 of the Self-Publishing Tips and Tricks podcast with Ben Pegg from Running to Write and Morgan Lee. And today we're here to share a few things with you guys. First, we have a logo update. We have the dates actually picked out for next year's conference. We also have some changes that we're making to the conference, just little tweaks here and there, a call to action, and we'll finish with a reveal of some of our special guest speakers. So I am going to let my other team member introduce herself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Margaret Pinard. I'm a historical fiction and fantasy author. You can find me on BookTube and Authortube. I like to, straddle between different worlds. Gives more flavor to my reading and writing. And I have helped out Shannon last year and was a speaker the year before. So we're coming back with some fun updates and additions and tweaks to the conference this year, and we're very excited to share it with you. So the first one is there's going to be a little magic backstage. Maybe we'll have to minimize ourselves or something, but we're going to reveal the new logo, which is of course Shannon's handiwork for the 2024 AWC.
We don't have to minimize their layovers, so you can just lay them over and talk if you want to.
Oh, okay. An overlay, yes.
Overlay, yeah.
So there's the blurry, suspenseful vision and the new logo. So you can see it's similar colors, similar quill energy, and then the new year. So got a little creative, got a little new spunk for the year. The other thing to reveal is the dates. So the dates we have next year are going to be June 28th, 29th, and 30th. That is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, as usual, and the last weekend in June. So try to accommodate as many moving parts as we could, and that's what we came up with. So hopefully you can stick that on your calendar now and be raring to go for next year. Oh. Ready for the mission statement?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so if you're new here, you may not even know what the Authortube Writing Conference is. I mean, it's pretty self-evident from the name. We take people who are authortubers, with authors with a presence on YouTube, and give them a platform to make their own conference. So the mission statement has a couple tweaks. And so if you're not familiar with the conference, here's the values and, its raison d'etre. The Authortube Writing Conference, AWC, is about bringing people together from all aspects of the writing and the book publishing process. This conference is an opportunity to get inside the world of writing craft, traditional and indie publishing, and to connect writers, authors, and professionals who all work toward adding great literature and knowledge to our world's depository. So there we go.
I am in the process of trying to open up our web pages, so some things are going to pop up now. But so next, we're going to talk about the new AWC 2024 guide changes that we have, and we do have a link for that that's in the description box, and it's now open on the website. I think I got that page open. I was able to check it. I did hit publish, so hopefully it's now open. But if not, it will be after this live is over. And there are a few changes that we've made. And we've talked about this a few times for those who were part of the 2023 conference, is that we don't have a theme for next year. We probably or may not do a theme ever again. We're not sure about that. But, right now there's no theme. So as long as you have a channel that is about writing and or publishing, we welcome all of those pitches to submit when the application period opens. And you'll want to start thinking about those soon, because we did move the application dates up a little bit so that didn't go through the holidays when we do take some time off, and you guys probably do as well.
Yes, so that is going to be November 15th to December 15th. And we've got the guide up. So I'm going to pop that into the chat in a second. I was getting distracted by looking at all the chat comments because we had a few and we hadn't.
Do we want to take a minute and say hello to everybody?
Yes. So we got a lot of great comments on the logo. Jennifer Brown saying it's gorgeous. And Just Eva saying, I'm hoping Bookend Lane can be a baby sponsor again.
Yes.
Excellent. We can't wait. That's a great idea. We have Richard Holiday and Self Pub with Andy saying hello, hello. Rachel says, I love it. We've got a new name to me, Laura Abbeyflower. Welcome. The logo is beautiful, she says. Richard saying it's her shandiwork, which is a lovely pun, which we've come to expect. Anita saying, love the new logo. Victoria Talks Writing. Morgan Lee says it looks great. Laura Nettles, pretty. Love it.
I made like 3 different ones. And so Margaret liked another one better, but I thought that the font was like part of the feather. And she's like, let's change the font. I'm like, but that kind of teaches the feather. And so we said, okay, what's the next best one? And so we decided on this one.
Yay. And we've got Felicia at dreamingtruth.author, all these lovely people. So thanks so much for coming in and being here for the reveals. November 15th to December 15th. So again, it was a matter of can't please everyone. We're trying to work within a schedule and get the applications all in before the holiday season. So if you're doing Nano, you may have to plan first 2 weeks of December. Those are your application times. And if you're not, you have a full 4 weeks to get that in.
And if you're like me, you might have like ideas percolating for those first 2 weeks it's open anyways. And then when Nano's done, you're like, okay, now I'm ready to see what I want to do. And you can still submit multiple pitches. That hasn't changed. So if you get lots of ideas, submit them.
True. Let's see. Some of the other...
I actually submitted 5 pitches to 2 different conferences in the last month.
Really?
Like 5 pitches to each conference. I pitched them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that increases your odds. This is what I'm telling people with the giveaway at Fireside Chat. It's like you can enter as many comments as you want. There's no limit on entries, so increase your odds. Some things are the same. So we'll have the sessions with guest speakers and speakers with a similar overlap. So people will have so many people presenting at the same time. And there's one change for that, which is that special guest speakers and guest speakers used to have the full hour or 60 minutes for their time slot. But to address the issue that we really didn't have a passing period and people were late coming in and it just made things a little off kilter, we're going to make that a 50-minute time slot and decrease the minimum requirement for Q&A from 10 minutes to 5 minutes. So hopefully, I mean, you can still go longer than that, but at least this will get some opportunity for speakers and participants to interact and get dig a little deeper into the subject and get questions answered. Yes. So some of the speakers had run over their time without doing the Q&A, and this is a change meant to prevent that from happening in the future so that people will be happier.
So, and our next big change is in presentation delivery. So we have tried allowing speakers to do premieres for their material, but we also found that Q&A part often got left off. And some of it I found out from talking to some of the guest speakers is that because they had concerns for dead air time in the presentation, which I think Michael Laurent actually found like a really great way around that. He had, a 10-minute Q&A built in where he was answering the top questions that people asked him, but he was also in the chat to answer any other questions. So that kind of worked. But because many people who did premieres did not do the Q&A portion, we have taken down the way you present material down to 2 options. One, you can be fully live stream. You live stream everything. You give the presentation material and you do your Q&A live. And then the other way is it's still a live stream, but you can record your main content, the main material that you are doing the presentation on, and just play that as a pre-recorded video during your live stream so that when it's done, you're back on the live stream and you can do the Q&A live.
Sounds good. And that doesn't preclude, if you're someone who doesn't like being on camera, you using an audio avatar right? You can still present and not show your face. We just want people to know that you are there interacting and like on the screen in some way, shape, or form. So I just thought about that, that I'd add that. All right. So the schedule for the days, yes. Schedule for the times by day and the number of sessions during the conference will be the same, except we've taken out the after parties. So that's something we tried out last year, and it seemed to sort of duplicate the purpose of the happy hours, and there was just more fiddly organizing and checking than there needed to be when our goal was just for people to have fun and sort of schmooze in the corridors. So we'll be taking those out and finding a new way to socialize outside of the regular sessions. And
Can I add?
Yeah.
I would like to just add it. Sorry, I didn't have this written down, but I would like to add on our back end, we knew that the happy hours and the after parties were different. But we were told by several people that from your guys' view as the audience, it seemed like it was the same thing. So we did want to cut down on that redundancy.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, it's just another example of think of something that you experiment with and you're trying to, meet different needs, and then the way it comes out is just differently than you envisioned it. So we'll move on to something different. It's all good. Okay, so now my shining hour here. So we had some awesome volunteers last year, and I was in charge of wrangling them, and a lot of them are in the chat. So hey, you guys were wonderful. But we need more people this year to help out. So you probably remember we had a little some issues with burnout at the end of the conference, and someone didn't sleep for 3 days before and after the conference. And so we want to avoid that this time by delegating more. And so we've created some very clear roles of people volunteering to help delegate some of those responsibilities. And I'd just like to shout out to the channel Jo Writes, because she had an excellent suggestions and helped us think through a lot of sort of strategic reorganization. So thank you for that. And thanks to that effort, we have a special form. So we've got all the definitions and role clarifications for things we need help with, like giveaways, since I know people are already talking about giveaways in the chat, which is amazing. Sponsorships, and Eva's already mentioned sponsorships in the chat, which is amazing. Website stuff and speaker liaison and all the things. So you will find those laid out in the volunteer form, which I will drop in the chat.
I was trying to grab it. I was like, wait, I should be doing this.
I'm still it.
I'm still fiddling with the website to get it to show up all the pages that I created.
Oh, no worries. So here's, I'm calling it the vol call. So it's the call for volunteers for AWC 2024. So if you click on that bit.ly link, it'll take you to the Google form. You can revise it as you go, but do read the definitions of the roles, because we want people who have thought it through, know that they can commit to the role, and put it in their calendar and get excited about it, and then start thinking about those tasks, and then sail in when they're needed to help us make 2024 a wonderful success. So there you go.
And I would say, though, that there are definitely roles on there that we really need people to help us out. But even if you feel like you want to help, you're I don't know if that I am what you're looking for. If I'm thinking that from your perspective, I'm not who you're looking for. Just be aware that anything you can do is going to help us, because we just need the help. So we do have, those roles are made and created, which Jo definitely helped us out a lot with that. Taking a look at our organization, the structure and everything, and helping us figure out how we could separate it out and where we could get the most help. And it would be great, to fill those roles, but we would just be happy with whatever it is you can help out towards those goals for each of those roles, whichever one that interests you. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay. I was just putting this in the chat because I did see a couple of questions and people answering them with each other. But if you do have questions, write them in with a Q. And we have, of course, we've slotted Q&A time in our own announcement live, because that's how we roll. All right.
I wanted to share. one page. I think it's open now.
It's not sharing yet. I think you have to come back to present.
Yeah, I had shared and I closed it, not thinking what I was doing. Okay, so I'm still working on, share, hit the right button. Okay, so this is, I do have a new page for this. It's just not open yet. I was working on trying to get that one shared. But what I did do is on about the AWC, it's updated with our logo. Okay. Is that clear enough for everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Great.
So I thought about doing it like a circle, but we are going to call it the AWC team. And so we've kind of put it in here where we did give names, and we do have like a third chair that we're looking for somebody, but that is going to be a process. It is on the form, the volunteer form, if it's something you're interested in. But yeah, so I also wanted to try and put in the other roles, and we do have one person who's on board, which you can see here on the screen. We have Inka York. She is our street team coordinator, or whatever else that she might want to change the name. We just put that in for a placeholder and told her she can choose whatever name she wants. But basically, whoever signs up for the street team will work with her and the schedule to do all the social media and stuff like that. So yay. So all the other roles that are on here, they're just made up roles. They're not the actual roles on the sheet, because I don't know which ones we might actually fill. And I didn't want to put everything on here that we're trying to fill, because I don't assume we're going to fill all of them. So once we do have people who volunteer, we'll start putting on here, and we'll get with you to get like your social media and your social links or whatever it is that you want to put on here. But yeah, I just wanted to show that. That's the about the AWC page. And
Then we've got announcements about special guest speakers, which you were gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. Yeah, I wanted to bring up the part of the form, so I should have put this into the notes for today. So one thing that Joe said was, because I said, well, we don't have like money to pay people to come work for us, and that would be a better incentive. And I can take this off. Hold on. And she said, well, there are other ways that you can, show people how valuable it can be to work with the AWC. And so I put a lot of that into the volunteer form in the beginning there. That was the stuff that I added to the form. You saw it? Okay. Mm-hmm. So which is basically this can build up some credibility for you. If you are a volunteer for the conference, you volunteered at a conference, which could help you if you're wanting to, be part of other conferences in the future. So yeah, anyways, and there's lots of other reasons there that she had mentioned I put there. Okay. So now on to the special guest speakers. We do have 3 special guest speakers who have signed on already. We don't have a keynote speaker yet. I've reached out to a few people. The main one that we wanted, she unfortunately was going to be gone that weekend, so it didn't work out. But who we have so far, we have Brian Cohen, and he is known for teaching ads. Specifically, he tries to run the 5-day Amazon ad challenge. I think I'm missing a word in there, but basically tries to help authors learn to run more profitable Amazon ads. And Amazon has actually brought him on now to do some of the videos for their ad course that they have, because there's an ad certification course that Amazon gives for free that you can take every year. So he's actually part of that certification course now. And he also runs Best Page Forward, which is a copywriting agency for authors. I actually hired them to do my blurb for my book that was on Kickstarter, A Curse of Scales and Feathers. So If you read that blurb, they wrote that blurb.
Nice.
So yes, they did a really awesome job. It was much better than the one I had. I wrote one, didn't like it. I ran it through like 5 different AIs just to see what it would give me. Still didn't like it. And I gave them all that version, and they made it so much better. It's not even anywhere close to that version that was originally there, but what they wrote was so much better. So, and then
woohoo.
Yeah. And part of that ad package that blurb package that I got, they wrote me like 10 lines for Amazon ads and one copywriting like blurb to use for Facebook ads. So I haven't used them yet, of course, because my book is not on retailer platforms, but I do plan to use them when it gets there. So, all right. Our second guest speaker who signed on was Nick Thacker, who is a USA Today bestselling author of over 40 fiction thriller novels and nonfiction author focused books. And he recently joined Draft to Digital as the VP of Author Success, because Draft to Digital just acquired selfpubcovers.com, which was a book cover site. And there was a lot of pre-made covers on the site as well. And they are going to overhaul that site. And I think Nick Thacker is part of that process of working with the site. So, and then our third special guest speaker who signed on is Stephanie Knoll. Now, on YouTube, she writes, her YouTube channel is under The Life of a Writer. And she is a writing coach. And of course, she has her YouTube channel. And from her YouTube channel about section, she said that her channel is the go-to destination for aspiring writers who want to learn a simple yet effective method for crafting their nonfiction book. So we are really excited for those 3 who have come on already.
Yay. So we got some excitement in the chat.
Yay.
Eva knows Nick Thacker. Nice.
Yeah, he's books.
Yes. And Six Cat said he already sent a note on the website to volunteer. And I mentioned that the link is in the chat for the form with all the definitions and defining roles. Then I went to try and pin it and realized it's on your channel, so I can't pin it even as a moderator. So maybe just scroll back up a little bit. It should still be visible.
Okay, I'll go over there.
All right. So some of the other roles, we've got support roles, we've got core roles, we've got the chair position. But you've all mentioned that there's giveaways and sponsorships, and those are really helpful. We had things come in like gift cards, books, bookends, services, certainly, subscriptions, definitely. And we'd love to hear if anyone who was on the recipient end, on the receiving end of those giveaways last year has tried it out and had things to say. If you have a reaction video, please tag us and, pass it around, pass the knowledge around, because we'd love to see how those giveaways worked out for everybody. Other things include writing merchandise, so you can pump your own brand as well. Writing, journal, stationery. I mean, who doesn't love a journal in this community? And if you're willing to donate any of the above or have good ideas of your own, email authortubewritingconference@gmail.com or use the contact us page on the website. So that wraps up the announcements. So we can open to Q&A. I think I only saw one from just Eva. Let me check. So Eva was asking the merch coordinator, is that setting up a merch shop separately from the AWC website, or?
We're on Teespring, so whoever takes over that, I would just give them their account on Teespring to set up the store, and then they would just give the website coordinator all the links. Well, just the link or whatever. I think the best way that we did it, because I think you can link to Teespring one link, and it just takes you to like one item. So we took pictures of, and I say we because Jenna did it the first year and I did it second year. So what we both did was a similar strategy. So we just took pictures of the items, and that's what we put on the website. So if there's a better way that you can let me know, because I just followed Jenna's example because I don't know of any better way. But yeah, I'm saying all this with what I know. If you know a better way of how to get it linked to our website that's different, please, let me know. I'm open to suggestions.
Sounds good. Follow up if the shop is not on your own site, which just sounds like it is not. The cost of that, if I were to volunteer, could double as a sponsorship since there's overhead costs for shop. Yeah, I think the sponsorship designation is definitely included when you're donating something in kind. I mean, not to call out an example, but Books by Adrian does these amazing video intros, and I know that people pay him for those on his Ko-fi, but if he was to donate that would be like an in-kind sponsorship, I would imagine. So things like that, where you're putting your expertise to use, that seems like a great opportunity.
I didn't put it. I redid the Ko-fi, so it's up there. Prices went up because the website went up $30. And I knew it was going to, because last year when it changed hands from Jenna to me, since I was new, I got a coupon, a free coupon, not coupon, percentage off coupon, whatever it was like 30% off. Yeah, I got a discount for having a new account, even though it was an old account. So I was like, okay, next year's gonna be more expensive. So that went up $30. Inheritance
taxes.
Yeah. And then Adrian, who we've gotten the intro and outro from every year, I think I paid like $50 plus some tip or something last year for the intro and outro. Well, this year his prices are $40 a piece, which is $80, and that's not even a tip. And so I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll make it myself. But I did put it on there just in case
Yeah, you've done a lot of work with videos and AI, and who knows, maybe you're ready to.
I mean, and he's worth it. I mean, he's worth the money, but I am looking at the cost. I did put the cost on the Ko-fi page. So we do have it now put up there, the new cost, which is, I think it's like $300 and some dollars. Last year was $250, or somewhere. Yeah, it was $250, but this year is like $3 something with the cost, the increased cost of the website and the increased cost of Adrian's intro and outro. But if I end up making it myself, then I might take that off, but or I will take that off. I say might because I'm thinking might make the intro and outro, and yes, I could probably do it. It's the time. It's finding the time.
Let's see, accounting. So we have a lovely question from Samuel. I think they put in the chat as their name.
They're from Dale's channel, actually.
Yeah.
Is the conference for free? Well, it's all on YouTube, so yes, totally free. And creators here on YouTube, they're the ones that, so it's free for attendees. This is a vision I had, that it was completely accessible to everybody. So how could people benefit? Everyone who's involved. So those who benefit, the attendees benefit because it's free, and the presenters benefit because it's on their channel. So hopefully they get a chance to be part of this organization that people become familiar with, and go and come and find a new audience that they can leverage for more fans. So that's the idea behind it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Always and forever free. We had a question from Richard, of course.
Yeah. No.
Gee.
There was
great idea.
On the website for Wix. Wix is what I use. They didn't have this last year. So when I was updating it a couple of days ago and yesterday, I couldn't figure out how to word this one sentence. And I was like, okay, edit the text. And right next to edit the text button on there, it had something, I don't remember what it said, but I could tell it was the AI. It didn't say AI. So I clicked that and it reworded my sentence for me. And I was like, oh, well, I like that better. I'll take it. But I was like, I did not know that was already built into Wix. But yeah, they have an AI that will help you reword and figure out what you want to say.
Nice.
Yeah, the Ko-fi fund is the same that we had before. I don't know if we have the link to hand anywhere.
That's correct. I just typed it in like I thought it was, and it did open the page. So
yay. Yeah, same as before.
Yeah. Eva is full of ideas. So maybe like make out a list and send them over to Authortube Writing Conference @gmail.com, because the live chat's not the best idea to work out a specific proposal.
We will have our second live announcement will be the day that the applications open, and that will be a great time for you guys. If you have ideas, you can bring them and ask us about it. So,
yeah, I don't see any other questions.
All right.
I didn't get to put this banner up, so I'm just going to put it up now. It's got sparkles on it, so you know it's important. Basically, I just want to do one more little hammer the point of when you volunteer and you become part of the community that makes things happen, it's more of a community lift rather than Shannon getting burnt out trying to offer all these things that she wants to bring into being for the community. So we'd love it if you'd fill out the form, tell us what you can do, want to learn to do. And yeah, that is in the chat.
And I did put it on the form, but just in case, just so TDR, whatever they say that,
TLDR.
TDLR. There we go. Couldn't remember the order of the letters. You can fill more than one role if you want to. So it's totally up to you, because some things can overlap pretty easy. You could be a moderator and a reviewer, proposal reviewer. And so as much as you want to help out, we don't want to burn you out either, though. So yeah.
Yes. And people are answering questions that other people have in the chat.
Oh, okay.
So Samuel asked where are the videos from this year's conference, and Andy filled in the archives. Yep, we've definitely got playlists and all that.
I've got 2022 and 2023 in the archives now.
Yay. So yeah, I think that's our first live. Do I need to go away so you can see the logo big, or maybe
oh no,
I'm like right in front of it.
Oh, I don't have it as its own. It's okay. Maybe I'll just next time I'll move the logo around, but they can see it up in the corner too.
Okay, all right, it's in the corner. All right, good.
Or you can just do that.
Pretty.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
My favorite one was the one that no one picked, and I say no one because I did run these by Richard too, and he told me which one he liked.
It was very frothy. It was very
pretty.
But for a logo, you want legibility. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong in a comment. I'm just saying.
No. You're probably right. Let's see. I could add that in here real quick, right? Overlay. Was it overlay? I can put the other one up there. Because I worked on 3 different designs. And I kept messing around with them, trying different things. I even tried changing the feather out because you really like the feather of this one, of the first one that we picked. But, so
Eva is making you feel better. She says that I would have liked the pretty one, Shannon. They're all pretty. It's just that one was very frothy. It had lots of extra frills, so
it's
and multicolored.
You can go ahead and show it if you want. I'm gonna put the other one up there too. Okay. So
that.
Yep. So that was the one that I really liked.
Nice.
And then this is the one that Margaret liked, but you can see the A in the AWC was part of the feather. And I thought, well, if we change the lettering, that kind of takes out. Why is my light like flashing? I have disco stuff going on over here.
Candle it.
So yeah, those were the designs I came up with. I did have one other one, but when I looked at all 4 together, I was like, that 4th one's like Jackie. So hi.
Yeah, well, we've got votes of confidence. So there we go. So work behind the scene already being done, even though this is the first live. There will be several more. I think the next one may be announcing the applications.
Yeah, the application's opening. I think we have at least one more announcement after that. And then, of course, if we have any like huge changes or whatever, we'll be back on.
Right. Tell you about the speakers as they
that's
in. So,
yeah.
But I think that's it for today. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming to hear about the new updates for the Authortube Writing Conference next year, 2024. We're very excited to bring them to you and to bring people together to lift up the community. Writers Lift. Yay!
Yeah, because you said Writers Lift, people volunteering is a Writers Lift. That goes right along with the theme that I wanted, or the mission behind AWC, which is to be a community building. So yeah,
yay.
Love that. All right, we'll see you guys all later, hopefully for the next one in a couple months. Bye.
Bye.